Alright, if you've been subscribing to my channel for a while, then you've probably seen my most popular video, which is a video of me repairing a phone screen with super glue. This video worked out pretty well, and it got me to thinking, what else can I use to repair a phone screen? So what I have here today is my daughter's iPad, which, as you can see, is pretty damaged. Lots of chips in the screen. There's some pieces of glass missing altogether. Now that doesn't necessarily affect the screen itself, but I want to go ahead and get those filled in before she loses any more of the glass on this thing. So what I've got here is some 5-minute gap filling epoxy. I bought it at Tractor Supply. It's just the Permatex brand. It's not anything fancy. And what I'm going to do is squeeze a little bit here onto this plate. And then I'm going to mix it up with this knife. I want to make sure you mix it up really good. And this is supposed to dry clear, so I'm really going to cross my fingers on that. Because as you mix it up, it almost turns white. If you hear that crunching noise in the background, that's my dog Lolly, because I don't have a decent studio to record in, so I'm in my living room. But anyway, so we've got the epoxy mixed up really well now. And now I'm going to go over here and try to apply some of it to this screen. See if I can get the camera to focus on the damaged part of the screen. Okay. Now I'm going to take this epoxy that we've mixed up. I'm just going to try to get it to fill in as many of those spots as I can. Now, if you're not familiar with epoxy or you haven't worked with it before, don't be worried. It's simple. It's just glue that you mix up. It's pretty forgiving. It's 5-minute drying. That gives you plenty of time to fill in whatever gap you need to fill like this. You can buy it at most stores. Anything like Walmart or whatever. I just bought this at Tractor Supply because I go there and get equipment from time to time for my knife making videos and things. So I have epoxy on hand most of the time. This happens to be a tube that's left over from making some scales on a knife in one of my other videos. You want to smooth it over the best you can, and don't worry about the excess. We're going to scrape that off here in just a minute, just like we did in the other video when we were working with super glue. So the excess is not a problem. We're going to scrape it flat. The main thing to focus on here is make sure you get the gaps filled in well. We don't want any empty spaces. I want this to be smooth once it's finished. Ideally, I wouldn't be using a serrated knife for this, but that's all I had on hand at the moment. So it's going to have to work. I actually have another spot right here I'd like to fill in. Okay. So now I've filled in these cracks well. You can see the shine right there. If I can get it to reflect again. You can see the epoxy. I know this black background doesn't really do any good on the camera. Let's see. You see I've got epoxy there on a crack, and then there's tons of epoxy right there, which is fine. We're just working to seal up these gaps. I wanted a smooth surface when I'm finished. So I'm going to give this about 5 minutes to dry. This is the way that I use to determine how dry my epoxy is. I like to just take the leftover pile of epoxy that I have on the plate and scoop it up into a big blob on my your putty knife or your kitchen utensil if that's what you're using, and then just find a spot on the plate and stick it to it. And from time to time, alright, now you can see I've brought my razor blade out. It's been about 15 minutes, so it should be good and dry. You can see the knife and the blade are bending, but the epoxy is not. It's no longer tacky. It feels kind of rubbery, but you want to be able to scrape off. I'll do this without slicing my finger open. You probably can't see that on camera, but you want to be able to slice into this. If you cut into it and it's gummy or something, it's not dry. Because the last thing you want is to end up just smearing more of it onto your screen. So what I'm going to do is now take this razor blade, and you want a good sharp razor blade, preferably a new one, and we're going to scrape the screen. You can see down here I've got, these are fingerprints where I was using the epoxy a minute ago, and I'm going to use those to demonstrate what we're trying to do. This is our goal, is to take this razor blade and just scrape that stuff off. It's not going to hurt your glass. This is Gorilla Glass, or most common phones are today anyway. They're made of Gorilla Glass, and it's much tougher than this razor blade. It's not going to cut your phone or anything like that. So scraping it along the screen is going to just clean your screen. That's why you want a good new razor blade, preferably, because you want a nice flat scraper. Now I'm going to start with this corner up here. You can see the epoxy is nice and hard. I can scratch it. So it's dried to almost a plastic texture. You have to be slow and methodical with this. You just want to scrape up under it. But you're not trying to peel the epoxy off the screen. You want to leave what fell down into the cracks down in there while still removing the other bits. And you end up with this film. That's garbage. But now we have a nice divot repaired in the screen. You can see there, you barely can even feel it when you run your finger across it. Now I know it's still visible, but that will help hold the glass together, and it'll keep it from further separating or cracking. Now we're going to do the same thing over here with this larger area. Alright, and you can see where the filler went in. It's nice and dry under there. It filled in the cracks beautifully. And of course the iPad still works. Now I wouldn't recommend this fix for covering your screen itself, but on many phones and just about every tablet you're going to have this this border around your screen, and that's what this is for. a lot of times when a tablet gets dropped, in this case my daughter is 5, so she carries this thing everywhere with her, and it does get dropped and things, and this is what happens. No, it doesn't look perfect, but it does fill in the gaps and protect it from further damage. Now I don't have to worry about this separating any further and causing further damage. If you like this fix, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because in a future video I'm going to be using a tube of specially formulated epoxy that is called glass resin. If you're doing this fix that we just did, you can use any kind of epoxy. I highly recommend you find something that's clear, and it'll say on it, it'll say that it's clear, diamond clear, something like that. And you should use that. But subscribe to the channel, and in a future video I'm going to be using a tube of glass resin, which is similar to epoxy, but it's actually made to fill gaps in glass. It's the same stuff they use for fixing windshields on cars. So ideally it has the same refractivity level as glass itself. So when you put it into the gaps, you're not supposed to be able to see it at all. So stay tuned. I'll have that video up soon. And if this helped you out, just leave a like on the video. Thanks for watching.